education is part of some of the trainings you have to become a beauty queen. You must be patient, you must be tolerant, and above it all, you must accept everything that comes your way. Now, I'm going to be very practical with you as I speak to you because I want us to talk like brothers and sisters. In my own assessment, every one of you are queens in your own right. And I can confidently call every one of you queens. But the truth of it is that we are going into a contest where just one person will have to win. And I refer to it most times as a classroom. A classroom where you have so many persons that want to study, but they need one teacher to lead them at right, and one course for everybody to study. Now different people will come out from that course at the end of that lecture period with different grades. Some will come with the first class, some will come out with 2-1, some will come with 2-2. And in that same class where someone comes out with first class, some will come with pass. And some they will just give them certificate of attendance. Now it therefore means we are all young people. And we are choosing a career that should represent us and should represent our country. Your coordinators, they made several very important positions here, which I find very interesting to note. In as much as the time is short, but the commitment and the responsibility of this office at all times is for young people. And there can be no other young person that can preach about your country than you. So you must not end up being a queen before you can preach about the good things of your country. You could do that in your own respective rights as students. I know some of you are students of respective institutions. You can equally do that too as a patriotic Nigerian fellow. Then above it all, you can do that because you want to challenge the youths of other parts of this world, that your country is better. It will be a thing of joy to us in government if a queen that emerges from you sees the transformation agenda of Mr. President as something they will champion. And you champion it from the area of making young people alike, with young like minds like us, and young people like yourself and myself, understand the fact that we may not have achieved the Nigeria of our dream, but we are not what we were yesterday. So we cannot pretend that there are no changes in governance. Now, fine. Government has its own responsibility and its own pattern of ruling differently from how it was before. A man yesterday may choose to use gun to kill a rat, and the man today may choose to talk a rat into death. Now the primary responsibility of it all is what is the result at the end of it. We have a country where 70% of the people that use the social media are young people. And one of the shortest means of pulling our country down has been the social media. Because if some of you have problems with your parents at home, you tweet about a government or social media, use either your BB, use either your Twitter, you get to your Facebook, somebody provokes you in your class of study, you go and you vent it on President Jonathan. You have a problem with your friends, your status in your DP will say a failed country. Now, most times these things count outside because whatever you have posted on the social media, you can't withdraw it. And once you send it, the time between when you are sending it and the time you click the post, that is the only time you can get things right. The very moment you click that send, it goes into public domain. And now you have either murdered your country or you have reduced your country. Now I want to ask you all in clear terms. Have any of you sat or approached your Twitter page, approached any of your social media devices that you are using to find an American young man insult American president?
Yeah.
Have you ever found that they said America is a failed country or the young people sit and say America is heading to doom. You don't find these things. It is not that these things don't happen there. It is just that they have believed on themselves that they are the pride of the world. But I said it clearly, America is not better than Nigeria. What is just our differences is opportunity and system. And there is nobody that built America for Americans than Americans. Either our African descendants that are living there, or the American citizens themselves that are living there. America is the name. Americans are the people that resolve that America will be greater than any country in the world. Just like our parents of yesterday. They resolved that they had a character of strong conduct to themselves that made Nigeria giants of Africa. But today we are not close to being mentioned as giants. We are only living by our past glory. So I'll charge every one of you sitting here today that Nigeria is waiting for Nigerians to make it great again. And you should not be left out of this dream. Because we are growing, we must prepare the country we want to grow into. Nobody is going to build Nigeria for us. As you are all seated here today wanting to be queens and face of democracy in Nigeria, if the borders and the shores of America is open today, I will not find any of you remaining here again. And those queens there that wants to be face of democracy in America, if the borders of Nigeria is open 1 million times, only a selected few of them will want to come. And their coming will not be to come and stay. They just want to come and see how this system is and they go back. So I want you to believe in President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. Believe that things will get better than it was yesterday. You can see some of these practical things ranging from those that travels very well. The airports are very differently from the way it was before. And my lady from Enugu, now you have an international airport. Yeah, you don't need to carry all those your cargoes to Abuja or to Lagos, so you fly directly. The roads are equally working. The railways have returned back. Some of you grew to know that there were railways yesterday, but today you are seeing them in some part of this country. And so we cannot expect, even the creation of the world, God did not just wake up and say, let there be day, night, world, land, air. No. They said he created the day, and when he saw that it was beautiful, he made night out of it. And on the second day, that's what the scripture said, then he said, let there be land from water. It therefore means even in creation there were days taken. And to God, a day to God is like 100 years to man. So it therefore means by extension that we should not have expected Mr. President to have transformed Nigeria between 2011 to 2013 to be a state in America. And it's a gradual process. And it therefore means for us as young people, as we have a right to demand for qualitative education, sound academic environment, job upon graduation, and good homes for our parents after retirement. All these rights are tied to responsibility. Because your right to eat is tied to the responsibility of you having to work to eat. And therefore means governance and nation building is joint responsibility of yourself, himself, myself, and government. And now going back to what would you want to be remembered for as a queen? So many persons would have been queen, and so many persons did not hear of them again. And one day, by Saturday, right, 37 of you will walk into that hall. One will wear the crown. Some will cry. But to those that will cry, I feel that it will be the beginning of a challenge to you. And to those that are going to smile, because the crown will be placed on their head, amounts another level of responsibility to you. Now the crown is not for you to be worn to keep in your wardrobe or to be worn and celebrate along the streets of your village. It's tied to a responsibility of you becoming an ambassador to this country, a model that young people will want to look up to and live like. A fellow with strong character that has an exemplary nature that can be declared freely as a true African and a true Nigerian child. And a fellow that has the fullest embodiment of patriotism in him or her heart. To those that will be honored and to those that will wear the crown goes with a greater responsibility than the woman that walks out of that home crying. So you must begin to prepare your mind of the challenges ahead of what you are going into. I think the first time I witnessed the beauty pageant was the one I went for in Bayelsa that almost cost my life. And now I was there and I saw how it was. And I understand the pains in the heart of those that lost and the worries in the heart of those that hoped they were going to win. There are some intricacies that goes into it that I still do not like. I was actually very shocked while I accepted to receive you. I was shocked because I gave everything up about the pageant when I left Bayelsa. It is not for me to publicly criticize, but because that I gave everything up. And I hope and pray that such things will not repeat themselves. Because you must give every young child an opportunity to compete. With all sense of fairness, irrespective of the person's background, irrespective of the person's parental affiliation. You must provide them with an opportunity to contest freely. And whoever emerges of it, let the person emerge on the strength of her own strong character, a strong representation, and a fellow that emerges that everybody, even the losers, will agree with the fact that this person genuinely won this thing. And I hope and believe that we can find out on Saturday. Now to those that are going to walk out of that hall either crying or hoping for another beauty pageant here. Most of the great men you see today, they have failed yesterday. Yeah. Your ability to fail, to cry, and to realize the fact that you don't need to cry again is what keeps you stronger than the man that had won yesterday. That you failed today and you cried to compete tomorrow, to win tomorrow, means that the man that won today had not tested failure before. So you are better and you are different from that man. You have gone through where he has not gone through. You have imagined being a winner and you hope for being a winner. So the celebration that goes with a success are not things that you can buy. But the pains that goes with failure are things that will hurt your heart. So to some of you, I want to be very practical with you, my sisters. To some of you that will walk out of that hall that day, not having the crown on your head, it is not for you to go and cry. It is for you to know that so many persons have equally walked into that hall and walked out of that hall without the crown. And if you check their antecedents, some of them are more successful today. So you will now have to begin to look at yourself and say that outside the crown being on my head, is it the crown alone that is going to restrict me to being somebody that is good in the society? Without the crown, I can still contribute. Now you can contribute by assisting and rallying around through whoever is going to win that crown. Now you meet the fellow that is going to have the crown on her head to say that if I had won this crown, this is what I would have done. And I've got the contact to get these things done. So I feel we can share them together. Now she may stand because she's the one that carries the crown and celebrates it. But you will be fulfilled in your heart because you have contributed. So what should be our watchword is our fulfillment. What will be fulfillment? I cried several times yesterday, and I should not feel that I do not have reasons not to cry again tomorrow. Because every time we meet different problems, that some will fail and some will pass. So the ones that may fail tomorrow may be too strong that I had expected to pass, and if I fail, I will cry. You understand it? And the one I will expect that I'm going to fail to cry, I may just walk into them and walk out of it successfully. So there are three things I want you to start building in your mind: that the crown is mine, but what if the crown is not mine? The life I'm living is mine. There are no other person like me on the surface of this earth again. We have a world of billions of people, but God has not created any me anywhere again in this world. So I am me, I will live like me, I will not want to live another person's life. Then thirdly, you ask yourself a strong question: what do I want to be remembered for? Now some of you are meeting yourselves for the first time. So you must keep your friendship strong. You must keep your friendship strong. You must strengthen on your unity. Ladies are quick people to get themselves fighting and quarreling. I had two younger sisters that could not stay in one room as students in the university. And so we had to separate them to live with their friends. They were living with their friends and they were comfortable than living together. Now it happens like that amongst you ladies too. So it therefore means you get to understand yourselves very well. You get to know yourself very well. You build the spirit of unity amongst yourself very well. When you were born, you never envisaged that 37 of you were going to meet sometimes in your life. But destiny has brought you together. That destiny that has brought you together has a reason to why it has brought you together at this time. So you must take an advantage of it and keep it very strong and very dear to your heart. Because you may go into one of the government houses one day and you want to see the wife of the governor. It's one of you that will be wives of governors. And who says that some of you could not be senators, you could not be members of House of Reps, you could not hold any good position. Now, so in as much as every one of you pray to excel, you should equally have those windows open that I could knock on this door and the fellow I want to see with one of the faces that I have seen yesterday. And it will be painful on me that a friend that I may know very clearly and the friend cannot call my name. Or the friend cannot recall when we have met before. And we have that challenge, particularly in this generation of ours. While we're growing in schools, I think in our secondary and earlier, in our university days too, we don't call somebody by their name alone. You say Jude Imagwe. You call the full names, Jude Imagwe. You say Abel Amodu. You call the names the way they are. But now some of you have even changed your names. So the names that you bear in schools may be different from the names your parents know you at all. So somebody comes to your gate and is looking for you and call your name and your parents' name. And may call the name that you are known in school. Your father says, I don't have this kind of child in this house. So finally, the greatest of all things you must protect is your identity. There is nothing that will not change in your life. For you that are ladies, the only thing that cannot change in your life is your name. And for us as men, my name will ever remain Jude Imagwe. Jude Gabriel Imagwe. I will not have another name added to my name again. So every other title may come. I may come through those titles and they come and they walk past. For that name, I was former NANS president, they will say President of NANS, Jude Imagwe. They will say this, now they say SSA Youth Jude Imagwe. For any time they call any title first, they call my name. Some of you ladies, you have your names changed sometimes in your life too. But your names will still remain your names. So you must learn to protect them strongly. And I equally want you to use your strong unity to appeal to ASU. You are students all here, except some of you have graduated from school. Every union has a legitimate right to request for the welfare of our members. But that right should not infringe equally on the right of another man that has that right to go to school. So one's right too is another man's right. Where another man's right and the other man's right may start from there. Now, I feel so strongly that where we are now is no longer at the stage of who blinks first or who wins the battle. Because government are not students. Our ASU members, they already have degrees that have kept them working. So those are the receiving ends are yourself and myself. And we should be given an opportunity to at least own a first degree. So we appeal to them and we pray that God will touch their hearts to have our campuses open. Amen. And it is finally my prayer that God will give every one of you the heart to bear those that will win and give all of you the heart to congratulate those that will be winners. I said those that will win and those that will be winners. I have not said anybody that will win. Because you are queens. In your right and in my right, you are all queens. So, but that crown is one. We can't have 37 crowns. We can't have 37 heads in one crown. Let one person wear that crown and let the other 36 support that crown. May God bless and keep you.
Amen.